Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're plunging right into the shadows to break down the chilling lore of one of fiction's absolute most terrifying artifacts. I mean, we're talking about a masterclass in horror mythology here. It's way more than just a book of spells. It's this sinister force that literally weaponizes our deepest human desires and just twists them into something entirely unrecognizable. So, I want you to imagine, just for a second, that you've lost someone incredibly important to you. Like, to what lengths would you actually go to get them back? It's a completely relatable, profoundly human feeling, right? But see, the source material we're digging into today takes this exact premise and completely preys on it. It introduces these forbidden rituals specifically designed to turn the dead into the living. And honestly, the true horror of this lore isn't even the monsters themselves. It's how it uses our own love and grief as the bait for our ultimate destruction.
All right, let's start at the very beginning, with the origins of the Dark Ones.
Way back in a prehistoric era, long before humans were even a blip on the radar, these insanely powerful cosmic beings known as the Dark Ones wielded massive, dark, magical forces, and their reign was just pure terror. They absolutely despised anything good and were obsessed with total destruction and chaos. Eventually, though, their threat got so out of hand that they had to be completely banished from our world. But of course, before they were cast out, they enacted a final devastating curse. They basically wanted to guarantee that their evil would permanently stick around in our world even after they were gone.
Which brings us to the artifact itself, the Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
You know, the sheer permanence of this thing is what makes it so terrifying. The Necronomicon Ex Mortis, or the Book of the Dead, wasn't just built to be some handy tool for magic, it was designed as a literal plague. And framing this curse as a disease totally changes the vibe of the horror, doesn't it? It's explicitly described as an incurable affliction, like a rot upon the world with absolutely no antidote. It was just hidden away in the dark, patiently waiting for someone desperate enough, or, let's be real, foolish enough to crack it open.
Now, the visceral, physical horror of this object perfectly reflects its demonic origins. I mean, we are not talking about standard paper and ink here. The lore explicitly lays out that this book is bound in actual human skin, and the text inside is written entirely in blood. Gross, right? It's literally designed so that whoever holds it is instantly corrupted. Every single page is packed with forbidden rituals. We're talking summoning demons, demonic possession, opening portals to dark dimensions, and, of course, resurrection. But here's the kicker. If you mess up even one tiny syllable in these chants, you are definitely not bringing back your loved one. Instead, you'll summon an unspeakable entity capable of kicking off the actual apocalypse.
There's this one specific detail from the lore that always gets me. It says that the very moment you interact with this artifact, you are just enveloped by pure malevolence. You don't just read this book, you experience it. Touching the binding immediately makes you feel as though the devil himself is standing right over your shoulder. The psychological weight of the object is just incredibly intense, making sure its corrupting influence kicks in the absolute second you make physical contact.
Let's shift gears and look at the cinematic legacy.
As you probably know, this terrifying artifact has been the whole centerpiece of Sam Raimi's legendary Evil Dead franchise, which has been scaring audiences silly since 1981. And the lore is still evolving, with a brand new release called Evil Dead Burn, which drops in theaters on July 10th. The plot here totally nails the book's core insidious trick, promising a sweet reunion, but delivering demonic possession instead. The story follows a grieving widow who moves in with her in-laws, only to find out one of them has been resurrected. So she has to confront promises made to her dead husband, who has unfortunately come back as a horrifying demonic entity. With a stellar cast featuring Suhaili Yacoub, Toddy Wright, and Hunter Dohan, this new movie is essentially the ultimate case study in what goes wrong when ordinary folks try to cheat death.
Okay, listen up. Here are the rules for survival.
I want you to put yourself directly into this hypothetical scenario for a minute. You're isolated in this creepy remote cabin. Your friend wanders down into the dark basement and, out of nowhere, stumbles upon a bizarre book bound in flesh. Do you actually know what to do next? When the lore becomes reality, your survival absolutely depends on understanding the brutal mechanics of the Dark Ones.
So here's your immediate, terrifying threat. The exact second your friend touches the book, its power activates. The book's #1 goal is to spread its evil like a super aggressive pathogen, and it does this by instantly possessing whoever finds it.
It turns the living into the dead. Well, actually, scratch that. It turns them into monstrous, incredibly powerful entities whose only purpose is to ruthlessly infect everyone else in the room.
If this happens, you have to follow 3 crucial steps, and I mean follow them to the letter. Step 1. Hide. Get out of sight and do not let them touch you, under any circumstances. If they grab you, they'll transfer their dark power and you're instantly one of them. Step 2. Trap them. You can't reason with a demonic pathogen, right? You literally have to physically contain the threat by locking them alive in a secure basement or burying them in a deep pit so the evil can't spread. And finally, step 3. Burn. The lore makes it absolutely crystal clear that some powers just cannot be killed in a normal way. They have to be completely eradicated. Fire is your ultimate solution here because it purifies the physical vessel, destroying the entity entirely and cutting off its link to our world for good.
Ultimately, the lore of the Book of the Dead is a chilling reminder that the absolute most terrifying evils are usually the ones just waiting quietly in the dark to be uncovered. You never truly know when you might accidentally cross paths with something deeply sinister. So take a quick second, look around you. Is the true horror already hiding in the very room you are sitting in right now? Well, thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and seriously, stay safe out there.